everybody, it's Hannah. I'm back again with another video. This is my first video in a very, very long time because I put BookTube off a little bit due to like some mental health issues and stress, and it was just becoming too much for me. But now that I'm in a better place mentally, I am back, and hopefully I'll be able to post a little bit more. I'm not sure. I mean, the last couple of videos I've made, I said like, I'm gonna come back and do this, this, and this, and I didn't do it. So maybe if I don't say I'm gonna do something, I'll actually end up doing it. So we'll see. Anyway, so today I'm going to be doing just a recap on what I've read this year. I've read only 11 books so far, and so far I think I've had a pretty good reading year. I've really liked everything that I have read, and yeah, so I'm just gonna get started and go through the books that I have read, physical books that I've read first. So the first physical book that I'm going to talk about is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I really liked this book. It's kind of a slow burn. It takes a while to get into it. I thought it took like 100 pages for me to like actually get into it, but I love the story. I love the characters. I loved the writing. This is about a girl who is blind, who lived in Paris, and her dad worked at the Natural History Museum, and they had like artifacts and a bunch of you know, really valuable things. And so the main plot of this story is that there's a stone that Hitler wants for himself, and so he's tasking people to get them, and then it's just about this family who's trying to hide the stone, basically. And it's just like their journey, and there's a couple other people they have perspectives on, so it's really good. I liked it. So there was that one, and then the next one that I read was The Stone Sky by N.K. Jemisin. Oh my gosh, my heart just, when I think of this series, I feel like I want to cry, because I am so honored to be able to have like read something like this. Like, this is by far one of my favorite series. I literally, when I finished the book, I sat down and I thanked the book and I thanked the author. I mean, I didn't like thank her on a platform or anything, but like, I just felt like, thank you for this. I feel so honored to have read something like this, and it's just so good. So it's like really hard to explain this, because N.K. Jemisin like makes up her own science and like she makes it like, I don't know, feasible for something like this to have happened in the book. So it's really hard to explain. Very scientific. There were pages and pages and pages at some points in this series that just explained like the science behind this world, which is actually our world set in the way future. I love this series because you don't see a series often that focus around a mother and a daughter. Usually it's around a father and a son, or a father and their kids, or something like that. So this is just, this was so good and so refreshing to read, but also heartbreaking at the same time. And it takes a while with all the science to like wrap your head around everything, but I mean, once you get there, it's just it's like one of the most stunning novels I have ever read in my life, and I love it so much. So after this series, I decided to read something a little more light and fun and like not as like scientific. So I went with Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, and I'm listening to Queen of Air and Darkness right now. This series, I read the Mortal Instruments in like high school or something like that, maybe even college, like high school through college, and I loved it. It's just so much fun, the adventure, the storyline. And so this is, I mean, she's just, I don't know, a lot of people don't like these novels, but I thoroughly enjoy them. I think they're so much fun to read. They're not, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're badly written. I think that there is a little too much like romance going on. Like, not romance because I like romance, but also I think there's a little bit too much like angsty romance of like people not being able to be together, and that bothers me. But other than that, like when all the characters, she does a great job about writing characters and writing like friendships within characters, and I really like it. And she honestly, without the like angsty romance, like of it going back and forth to being together to not being together, whatever, I think she writes romance really well too. I just wish that more characters were able to be together when they wanted to be in her books. Yeah, so I liked both of these books a lot. They're so long. They're like monsters and monsters of books, and I decided that if you took out like half of the angsty romance scenes, like it would be half. That's how much romance I felt like were in these books. But that's not a problem for me because I enjoy the romance, and you know, as long as it's well written, which I think it was, you know, I like it. But there was just too much of like the angstiness, but it was still good. Those were the physical books that I have read this year, and the rest are all audio. And I love audiobooks because I can sit and I can do, I can sit and I can do my work and do whatever I need to and just like listen to audiobooks, and I'm like literally reading as I'm doing things that I need to during the day, so it's like I feel productive and I'm reading at the same time, so it's really nice. The first one is The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. This is about a Polish family who lived in Poland during you know, World War II and the Holocaust and things like that, and you don't see any like concentration camps or anything, but you go through this girl's life, and you know, she lives in Poland, and so the Germans have taken over the city, and so she's trying to just basically survive, and so that's kind of the story there. And then she becomes an older woman, and there's two stories going on. So it's her story in the past during World War II, and then there's her story in the future when she had a stroke, she's sick, and she's trying to communicate with her granddaughter that she wants her granddaughter to go to Poland and to like figure stuff out about her life. She's always wanted her to know. So that's basically the story. It's really good. It's really sad. I haven't cried like that in a book in a very long time. It's just, I really liked it. I thought it was well written. I thought it was beautiful. And then the second one, oh my gosh, the second one is The Institute by Stephen King. And oh gosh, I don't even know where to start. I don't know how I felt about this book. I read it a week ago. I thought I was just gonna sit and like figure out how I felt about it. But I still don't know if I liked it or if I absolutely hated it. I can't tell because I usually really like Stephen King, but like then there's like little plot points and I'm just like, what? I don't know about this. And it's about this little boy who has telekinesis powers. He doesn't really know what's going on, but he's like a genius pretty much. And so these people in his life come in and they murder his parents, kidnap him, and take him to the institute where they're like running all these experiments and tests on him. And it's basically that him and these kids like trying to figure out what's going on here, what they're doing to them, and yeah, just like trying to figure out everything. And it was good, but it was like, oh, I was just uncomfortable, and I don't know if that was like the point, but I enjoyed it. But then at the same time I was like, ooh. But I don't think that Stephen King is like, he doesn't write comfortable books, you know, so I don't know if I was supposed to feel comfy. Okay, so the next one is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. Oh my gosh, this is another series I just like fell in love with. So I read The Poppy War in 2017, and I was just like I was listening to it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then I realized it was gonna be like a series, and I was like, oh no, I have to wait 2 years for it to come out. So I found out that recently that it came out in January, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get it. So I got it, and I immediately started listening to it. And it's so good. I love R.F. Kuang's writing. I love her characters. So this is what I complained about in the first book, right? And when I read the first book, I complained about Rin and her decision making. It drives me insane. And I know that this is her personality, this is her character, so I'm okay with that because it's well written and she stays true to like who she is, like but her decision making drives me insane. But other than that, like the story, the war, the fight scenes, oh my gosh, like I love the like violence and the gore and all of it. I love it so much, and the fact that it's like kind of a fantasy, it's amazing to me. Chef's kiss, so good. So I love it so much. So many good books this year. Say hi. Hey. So the next book that I read was Middle Game by Shannon McGuire, and she's one of my other favorite authors. She's the author of the Every Heart a Doorway series, which I read 2 of those books this year. Anyways, so this book is really good. It is about, oh gosh, this is one of the first books I read in January, so it's hard for me to remember. I know that I love her writing. She is one of my favorite authors. I think that her writing is beautiful. Like everything she writes, I just like fall in love with. Oh gosh, it's so good. I keep thinking about it, like remembering things. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. So it's basically about these 2 kids who are twins. They grow up, they don't know that they're twins, but they have these special abilities to connect, and they figure out that they both have certain powers that are opposite each other. So one is really gifted in word of mouth and reading and grammar and everything like that, and he can really convince anybody to do anything he wants. And then another one is just like really good at math. Her life is numbers. She can solve any problem whatsoever through like an algorithm in her mind. They're just trying to like go through life basically, and then eventually like it becomes apparent that their powers, they can do much more with their powers than what they thought. And so it's just kind of like that. I hope I did an okay job explaining it. I'm trying not to give away like spoilers and stuff. So the next series that I read was two books in Every Heart a Doorway, which is like, if you've watched any of my channel, you know that that's like my favorite series in the whole entire world. And so Beneath the Sugar Sky and Come Tumbling Down. So I'm not going to say much because these are like the 4th and 5th books in this series, and so I don't want to spoil much, but I'll just talk about like the writing and stuff. So obviously the writing is like some of the best in the world. I love Shannon McGuire. I think that she's such, her writing is so beautiful. I'm just in awe when I'm reading it. I just fall into her stories and I don't come out until it's done. That's another thing. These books are short. Like you could finish one definitely in a day easily, maybe a couple. Like these books are so short that like you can get it done in one sitting and you're just like mesmerized. She does a really good job about putting everything you need to know about a story in a short condensed form. And I think that that's really good because a lot of times I feel like there's some fluff in stories, but everything that she writes is like integral to the story, is how I feel it is. So anyways, these books are really good. I love her writing. I love everything about it. Okay, so another book that I have read was Lifelike by Jay Kristoff, and this was probably one of my least favorite books. I still liked it, but this was definitely one of my least favorite books that I've read so far. I was just kind of bored. I like his writing. I did not like the character. I feel like she was kind of a caricature of some of the other characters that he's already written. And there was another side character that really annoyed me. And I found myself getting annoyed a lot during this book. I hate saying that because I love Jay Kristoff, but this was not my favorite book of his. The writing was probably the best part. The storyline is actually really good. I'm probably still gonna read the second book, Deviant, because I want to know like what happens. And I feel like you're just now like learning and figuring out the plot of it. So I still like there's still a lot more to go, and I feel like there might be some character development that will, you know, make the characters more likable for me. I don't know. Okay, hello everybody. Again, my camera shut off. I don't really know what I got, what I didn't get. Hopefully I got the last of me talking about my books, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say again that instead of 11, there are 9. So I've only read 9 books this year, at least that I recorded on Goodreads. There could be more that I just forgot about. Hopefully not, but if so, they'll be in the next video. Yeah, and also I want to say, if you play Animal Crossing, I just got the game. I need more friends. I only have 2 friends. I would love to come visit your island, and you can come visit my island, and we can be friends. So let me know if you have Animal Crossing, and we can talk about becoming friends on there. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being patient with me and uploading and things like that. I will hopefully try to put out another video next week. I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm not making any promises because life, you know. Okay, well, I will see you guys later. Bye.